Whether you keep them in your home or love to see them in theirs, these are the creatures that bring us all together.
Reptiles. We're going to be delving into the experiences of reptile lovers from around the block and around the world. This is the Reptile Talk Podcast.
What's up, everybody? This is Jeremy from Brassman Reptiles.
And I'm Robin. I'm keeping it real.
And I saw your screen backstage with your freaking eye, and I was like, I'm not going to laugh. I'm not going to laugh. Then it got blown up, and I laughed. It was inevitably funnier, larger screen. Oh, man. Amazing. Episode 149, guys. Super stoked to be joining you again. And before we kick it all off, of course, Rob, how you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. I just pulled a clutch of scrub eggs the other day from Ursula to Brad. So, we'll have some baby scrub pythons hatching out here in roughly 3 months. So I have to just ignore the incubator for the next 3 months.
Yep, exactly. Put like the couch in front of it. Be like, it doesn't exist.
That's basically what I did. I put that like the light that I use for like filming videos and stuff. I just took it and like put it over there.
Yep, exactly.
Just in front of the door. I'm like, just don't go over there. Don't go over there. Don't go over there. Don't even look.
Yeah.
Don't even look at him. Don't even look at him. You don't need to look at him.
It doesn't matter. It's not real. None of it's real.
It's I really need to like map out better and like write down what day I'm supposed to be checking, because I'm just like, I don't even want to think about it right now, because I just set them up, and then if I forget that they're there, they'll hatch out sooner.
True, it definitely does seem to go by when you're not anticipating, but as soon as that anticipation kicks in, it's like, ugh.
Yeah, once I hit day 75, I'm gonna be like stalking the incubator.
Right, we haven't seen Rob in a while. He's just staring at the incubator. It's okay.
The incubator.
Yeah, it's been weeks. Yeah, we know.
Yeah, we know. Has he drank water or eaten anything? I'm not
Probably
sure.
not.
Probably
not. He's licking the condensation off the incubator. That's what's
That's
happening
how I've
right
been subsisting, is just off of condensation from the inside of the incubator.
Amazing.
Yeah, basically.
Absolutely amazing. Yeah. Wonderful.
How about you, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I can't complain. I have I bred a lot of ball pythons this year and didn't expect to. I went pretty hard at the beginning of the season, so this is going to be my last full season of really doing ball pythons in any kind of substantial number. So yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'll pull a Kevin. If it's here, we breed it. But
yeah, there you go. Now you're talking.
No, but yeah, I definitely didn't intend to breed as much, but like everything that was paired, even if it was just paired once, seems to be going, and I'm just like, oh shit. So we're gonna have a lot of fun ball pythons coming up this year. But got some carpet clutches on the way. We're probably about 3 weeks away from the first clutch hitting the ground for carpets, and then shortly after that'll be ball pythons, and colubrids are now up from brumation because I put them down early, so then they're all up. Yeah, I put them down in November. Usually I wait till December. But I started cooling them in November and was like, we'll bring them up early and get a head start, and so that's what I ended up doing. And a couple meals into feeding already, and females are already starting to plump up a little bit. So just waiting for those first sheds, and we'll start pairing some colubrids. Woo! Amazons are going crazy right now. Females with follicles, some early females with follicles. So I'm stoked about that, pairing some stuff up. So it's just chaos, bro. It's all chaos. Got a Partho gargoyle gecko clutch, which is interesting. So one of them was fertile, one of them wasn't. So we'll see what happens from it, but wasn't really planning for any of that. And yeah, the gecko army is about to be unleashed. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on, but all good things for sure. So no complaints.
That's tight, man.
No complaints. Hell yeah.
You're gonna be very busy in a couple months.
Oh God, save me. I mean, you know what? I'll say this because it fits with today's episode. At least I'm not getting hundreds of babies from each female.
From one female, yeah. That's fair. That's fair. That is fair.
Saying, man.
I will secede that. Okay.
Oh man. Well, before we bring out our guest tonight, of course, have to mention our wonderful sponsor for the podcast, Black Box Cages. Check them out down below. You can see that ticker running with all their information. Go check them out if you need a new rack, you need a new cage, want to check out some of the cool, innovative things that they're doing to help make herp keeping safer than ever before. Some of their amazing fail safes and stuff. Go check them out. blackboxcages.com. Again, link is in the description. You can check it on that ticker down below. And without further ado, we're talking arachnids.
Yeah, let's go.
Rob's talking arachnids. I'm listening about arachnids tonight. But super stoked. We've got Andrea Arachnid hanging out with us tonight. Let's get her in here. Hey, what's up?
Hey, not much.
We're super hyped to have you on tonight. I love talking about spiders and inverts, and I feel like it's kind of an underrepresented part of the hobby. There are a lot of people who keep spiders, but I feel like a lot of the podcasts and things are geared towards kind of more towards reptiles, you know?
Oh, yeah. Never, besides watching yours, never watched a podcast before, so.
It's just talk radio for nerdy animal people, you know?
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Very, very new to this.
That's fine. That's fine. So for the people who might not have heard of you, I follow you on Instagram, and I love all the pictures and videos you've been posting over the last couple of years, several years of your inverts in your collection. What kind of has brought you to where you're at in spider keeping?
I've always loved spiders. Seriously, always. Even as a kid, I was catching. I caught my first black widow when I was 5.
Damn.
Yeah. I would keep the spiders around my house and feed them like fleas off my dog. And I'd even like have stats and stuff on some other like spiders that I'd keep around the house growing up. And then in high school, I had a pet brown recluse that the person I was dating was not very fond of, and so they got me a tarantula for Christmas that year.
And then it all just spiraled.
Right.
Yeah, it's been like 16, 17 years past that, maybe 18. I don't even know anymore. But and I've still got brown recluse, but I got brown recluse from other countries. I've got, over 100 tarantulas, and I get whatever I can get my hands on, basically. So
that's really cool. I was not experienced with like any of the a lot of the true spider stuff until I got a bit older, because I grew up in Massachusetts, and there's not a ton of biodiversity when it comes to snakes or spiders or anything basically. And the colder it gets up there, it's just harder. And so we have black widows in Massachusetts, but I didn't see my first black widow until I was I don't know, 17 or 18 years old. They just, in my area, specifically where I grew up, I just didn't see them ever.
What's crazy is there are black widows in my area, and I haven't seen one since I was a little kid. All my friends find them all the time. Yeah, I have the worst luck. My friends find them all the time, or I'll go they'll catch one for me, and they're like, "Take it now, or I'm going to smush it." I'm like, "I'll come grab that from you."
I'll take it. Yep, give me. That's fair. I mean, the way that I found them was kind of by accident, and I was out herping looking for rattlesnakes and for copperheads, and I was out, and it was a really hot summer day, and I had sat down in the shade, and I was just having some water, and I look over because I hear something viciously buzzing, and it was a big bumblebee, and it was stuck in this web at the base of this rock pile. And I was like, what the hell kind of web is that? That is weird. And then I saw the widow come out, And I was like, no freaking way that that's a black widow. And so I watched, and they like went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And eventually the bumblebee got out because it was just so much stronger than the web was in that area. And after that, I was like, okay, this is kind of what their webs look like. And then after that, as I'm walking through the woods, I'm like, oh, there's a black widow web. There's a black widow web. There's a black widow web.
Right.
And so I would see like, anywhere from 10 to 40 of them in a day when I was like actually looking for them.
Wow. Yeah, I've actively looked for them certain like particular times a year, particular areas, nothing. Every time empty-handed. My friends are just like, yeah, I have an invasion of them in my garage. And I'm like, what?
Garages. Yep. Yeah. Since I moved to North
Is that why I
Carolina,
can't
that's where
find
I see
them? Because they're all in your garage.
Yep. Like it's a sheltered area. It's nice and toasty in there.
Right.
So you had experience with brown recluse and black widows at a very young age. That's pretty wild. And then you got into tarantulas. So do you feel like you're more pulled toward tarantulas, or do you still feel like a strong pull to the true spiders?
I like both. They both got their pros and cons, really. Tarantulas, like, once I started getting into, like, after, because, you have, like, the stuff I see every day that are around here that kind of, like, to me, kind of, like, whatever. But then there's, like, once I got into the arachnid hobby, like, legit into it, like, getting tarantulas, and eventually, like, after you get into old world tarantulas, they start to get a little, like, it's all kind of the same, what to expect for the most part with most of them. And then I think somebody might have gifted me like a huntsman or something. And then, huntsman put any like pokey or anything to shame,
Yes. Yes. It's so funny because when I kept before I kept true spiders, I was like, man, postal up there they're so fast, they're quick, and they're quick to bite and blah 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 blah. And then I got some Holconia and Cygnus, the like Australian huntsmans, and those things make any tarantula look like it's moving in slow motion, no matter how fast it's moving. Even like Tapanaquinas, there, I was these things are so incredibly fast. It's scary almost.
But I have found that even with tarantulas, the faster old world species are easier for me to rehouse or pack or anything and true spiders too are easier than like the slow Brachypelma or anything like that are just sitting there not moving, kicking hairs at you. Because the fast ones, you just put a cup on one side of them, nudge them, and they fly into the cup, and you just, there you go. And it's just like done, over, it's fast.
Yeah, I think that those arboreal spiders and like the quicker ones, they're more attuned to like finding little cracks and crevices to hide in, where the terrestrial stuff is just like, yeah, whatever, I'm out here. I don't care.
And it's so much better than just sitting there getting like rained on with urticating bristles.
Oof. Jeremy, have you experienced urticating hairs?
I found over the years. Yeah. Oh yeah. Over the years, I've been getting more sensitive to them.
Yep.
And recently I bought someone's collection, and there was a bunch of brackies and some curly hairs and stuff like that. And I've been like trying to rehouse them all. And it's just also they're in these huge tubs. So I got to dump all that dirt out, and that dirt's just flying up into the air. And I'm just like, this is great. This is fine.
No.
I leave my spider room at the end of the night, just like, oh.
Just somebody help.
Right. Oh man. What were you out doing today? What I love to do.
What I love to do most.
I'm doing what I love.
Yeah. Right.
A very itchy death. A very itchy death. I remember one time I was holding a Nandu chromatus, and I was like, oh, these like aren't that bad. It's no big deal. And it kicked hairs, and they went between my fingers.
Oh, no.
I will take a bite from a snake up to like 7 feet long before I would ever let urticating hairs get between my fingers again. That was the most excruciating, like, mental torture experience that I have been through. It was horrible.
Yeah. Usually, like, I start itching like really bad right under my nose and on my neck.
No.
And it's just like, somehow like the back of my neck. I don't know if it's just like sympathy itch back there because I got my hair covering it. So I don't know if like they're getting back there somehow or what, but it's just like everywhere just itches, or it's just like maybe a nervous sweat at that point because I'm just like, ugh.
Oh, yeah. I feel like the neck is really bad too, because all the skin along the edges, like the sides of your neck, is so sensitive. So those hairs in those areas are so irritating.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's what they're aiming for, is your little sensitive spots all on your face,
Oh,
your
they
throat,
get 'em.
airways, eyeballs.
They get the job done. That's
Yeah.
Whenever I have one
Jeez.
kick, I always just like, I quickly move away, turn away, kind of
Yeah.
go like this, and wait for the air to settle, and then pause for a little bit, and then I'm like, okay, slowly move so I'm not wafting whatever just went up into the air.
Yep.
And it's just like
Yeah.
every time I'm just like, let's just get through the day without this happening. Like some of my, I think it's my Brachypelma bomi, or however you say the species name. He's lucky I feed her half the time because it's like you look at her enclosure and she's kicking hairs, and I'm just like,
Mm,
I just like open it, crack, throw in a cricket, shut.
that is the best way to do it, honestly. With a lot of those Brachypelma species,
Yeah,
it's
it's
just too much.
not worth it. It's the slightest thing will just
Yes.
little puffball in the air.
Oof.
Mhm.
So okay,
Have you
so
ever-
from
Oh, no, go ahead.
the novice speed, like I know absolutely jack shit about tarantulas. Are Brachypelma just a more nervous species?
No, they're like one of the top recommended beginner species.
Oh hell yeah,
Yeah.
we're
Those are
going
like
right in
red knees and red
initiation.
legs, Jeremy.
What's that?
Yeah.
It's red knees and red legs.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah, and they just they're really, 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 really bad about kicking bristles.
Yeah.
They never
Trial by
threaten us.
fire.
Yeah, so I know a lot of people that like don't do any research, and then they had a tarantula at one point. They're like, "Oh yeah, I was allergic to it." I'm like, "No, sweetie, we're not allergic to it.
Yeah.
We all react this way. It's just you didn't do your research." Was its ball? Were you handling it a lot? That was your problem.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oof.
The Brachypelma stuff, like it does get really heavily recommended, but I find that they do kick those hairs a lot. So like
lot.
I don't really recommend them to new people. Granted, they're not very inclined to bite,
Yeah.
but those hairs are really unpleasant.
Yeah, and if you're not aware of it, you don't even notice that it's happening. You like might see it
Yeah.
kicking, but not like realize why it's doing that. Like, oh look, it's being cute, you know. Like I've seen. Oh my goodness, I once like I couldn't respond to the thread. It was like on one of the Facebook groups a couple years ago. Some person posting a video of an avic, and they're just like scratching its butt, and the avic's going like this, and they're
I
just like.
remember that.
And they're just like, it's just so happy to be pet. And I think I got 20 comments down, and this is on a spider group. And everyone else is going, oh my, and nobody said anything. And finally I'm getting angrier and angrier per comment because like they don't shoot their hairs. No, they wiggle them into you.
They wiggle them, yep.
They bump them into you. And so and people just like, oh, it's so cute. I'm like, how much? I got 20 comments down before somebody said anything. And I was like, I can't.
That is like one of the most frustrating things.
Yeah, because anything I was going to say was going to come off really rude. So I just got I'm glad someone else responded. Yep. Just going to breathe. Yeah. Breathe. The tarantula is not liking your scritches. It doesn't enjoy that.
Oof.
Yeah, people like they I don't know. I feel like a lot with like reptiles and with even spiders and like scorpions and stuff. People will put like mammal qualities on them. So they're like, oh, like I like scratching my dog. So obviously the spider's gonna like that too. And it's like, this is a very different creature. This thing's skeleton is on the outside. Please don't do that.
It's actually pretty dangerous, like with all the what is it, anamorphizing? I can't think of the word right now.
Anthropomorphizing?
Yeah, that's the word. Like especially something like with arachnids, where you get people they get so angry if you try to correct them. They're like, my spider, it loves me and it greets me every time I come home from work. It's already there, and you can't tell them otherwise. Like you cannot tell these people otherwise. I'm like, I'm happy you believe that, but like at some point, like I don't know. It's just, oh, I'm glad you love your tarantula. I just wish I could get through to you.
Impart some knowledge on you, please. Like,
but you can't. It doesn't matter how nice you are about it. They're just going to argue with you about it. So it's not even.
Yeah,
not worth it.
That's why I don't argue with people anymore. I used to post a bunch of pictures of like spiders and like setups and all this stuff, and people would be like, "Oh, like," and it wasn't bad. Like I had them in, containers and whatever, and they'd be like, "Oh no, you need to put it in like a 18 by 18 by 24 enclosure for like a juvenile avic," and I'm like,
Oh,
"No, please
no.
don't do that. Why would you do that?" They're like, "Well, how would you feel being cooped up in a small container?" And I'm like, "This is actually the best thing for this spider at this size. Please go away."
Oh, yeah. Or like people again, or back to Avix again. I don't know why I'm on Avix right now. It was with the SADS, the sudden avic death syndrome, which in my opinion is not an actual thing. It's just that you've probably accidentally drowned your tarantula in stagnant air. And I mean, I've seen comments where somebody's got a dead avic sling in this vial with no ventilation, and it's just dead at the end of or it's in death curl, maybe still like twitching, and they're just like, "What can I do?" And people are like, "Add more water," and I'm just like,
"No."
And then somebody started arguing with me. They're like, "Well, how can you tell the enclosure's well?" I'm like, "You can see the puddles of water, just like in the dirt, the substrate is black, basically."
Yep.
Kills me. And they will argue with you. I'm like, okay, have fun.
Yeah.
Have fun with that.
That's why I don't argue with people anymore. I'm just like, I keep my spiders. My spiders are very happy. They grow. They're great. Everything's cool. Like, I don't need to argue with people in Facebook groups.
Yeah.
Who have one spider.
During the pandemic, things were so bad online that I developed a fear of posting. And I've been posting constantly on my Instagram since 2012 or 2013, like daily, if not multiple times a day. And then the pandemic hit, and I don't know what happened. I couldn't take it and developed like some posting fear and stopped posting until I think last year. I think I took like 4 years off of not really posting. And then finally I've come back this year and I was like, I'm going to be more positive. I'm not going to let people get to me. And like when I post stuff, I try to like post enough or close up enough so that there's nothing that somebody can be like, "Oh, but it's doing this." I'm like, if I'm vague enough with my videos, I can't have randos telling me that I'm wrong.
True.
Yep.
True.
100%.
People that want my advice and legitimately want it, I will help them happily. They slide in my DMs. I will give them all the advice in the world, but I'm not going to go out there trying to be like, "You need to do this, that, and the other," because you just get yelled at. So I don't have it in me. I don't have the mental energy to handle it anymore.
Especially because people will judge an entire collection based off of like a 20-second clip of part of an enclosure, and it's like, actually no, that is not enough to base your entire opinion on someone's entire collection off of a 20-second clip. I mean, granted, if they're throwing the spider, sure, whatever, but like a feeding video inside of a container, come on, get over yourself.
There's another time, like on a Facebook group years ago, I posted a video of me feeding one of my Thalmopius armenia, Venezuelan sun tiger, and this guy said that it had DKS, and it was literally it grabbing a cricket and going back into its thing, and I thought it was a joke, and so I like made a joke back, and they ended up banning me because the guy was serious, and I was like, "Oh," I was like, I give up. I really give up.
That's
fucking
amazing.
Great.
And it's just like, okay.
He's like, "You don't see how its legs were moving?" And you're like, "I was feeding it. It was holding the cricket.
It's literally eating." I can't.
You can't tell people because on the internet they're like, "I saw something. I know everything," and it's like, come on, man.
Which I mean, granted, a lot of people need to be willing to like for me, a lot of the advice and everything that I know is older stuff because I've been around for so long in my hobby. And especially after 4 years not paying attention, even just coming back, like the amount of species names that have changed, or even species I've never even heard of that I'm recently discovering. And like, I had to like, when I had my collection still when I vanished, but I just wasn't online about it at all. and I wasn't getting anything new. And like the amount of like at first when I got back in, I think it was like last November, I was having to like Google every species I had to make sure that was still their name because there's be like
Yep.
5 people in the
Things
comments.
that split
Oh,
off
that's
and
not
shit,
its
yeah.
name anymore.
It's actually Titlicatl now, and it's like, bro, they change this every week. What are you talking about?
Right. And it's like I can't keep up, but I mean, there's some stuff that's like valid because that's the beauty of the hobby is that it's the hobbyists that are the ones moving everything forward. And I mean, the amount of species we have in the hobby that don't even have like an official scientific name yet, or haven't even been looked at, like taxonomically speaking. I mean, it's all of us on the forefront, like all of us working together, and it's beautiful that we all just share knowledge and, and like I understand that, like I know that I have a lot of information that might not be correct and what people view as what's, correct and what's not. Like I remember when I left, nobody was all about the fancy tarantula enclosures. I think it was right when those started coming out was when I left, and then coming back and they're huge. And then the amount of the jumping spiders exploded, and it's just like I go to expos now and they're like $60 for a jumping spider that's probably going to pass away in a week because she's old.
Yeah. I don't know if I could have predicted the jumping spider craze, honestly.
Yeah,
It's
that was crazy.
insane. It's amazing. I mean, good for them, but it's like they're a completely different crowd of people, honestly. Like,
Yes, they're a very different
Seriously.
crowd of people.
I almost like
It's
they
like
make
it's
me
the
feel.
bearded dragon moms. The bearded
Yes.
dragon moms, but just transferred over to spiders.
If I watch too many jumping spider videos, I start to be like, "Am I a bad jumping spider mom?" And then there I go, like overthinking my spiders. I'm like, I they have plenty of space to jump around in. I give them like view of the spider room, so they're not crammed up in the dark or nothing. Like, they got hidey places, they got things in there, but I don't have it like all cutesy down.
Yeah, I
But I'm
mean,
like,
but
am I a bad jumping spider mommy?
no. I'll say that like the jumping spider craze, I couldn't have predicted it, but also I have had a lot of people who are like have had a lifelong fear of spiders find a jumping spider page, and then all of a sudden they're like, maybe not all spiders are bad. And I'm like, I've been telling you this the whole time. And they're like, yeah, but
Yeah.
look at this one, it's got big eyeballs. And I'm like, okay, okay, you got
Yep.
me there.
If anyone's gonna like fall for a spider, it's gonna be a jumper every time.
Yes.
Every time.
Yeah.
That or like the velvet spiders.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which it's been crazy
Yes.
how available they are now. I remember like auctions going off for them, and it'd be like it's getting up to over $100 for like one tiny sling, and like everyone's like
Jeez.
fighting over it.
Jeez.
And then
Do you work with any of the Eureka species?
yeah, I've got 2 Gandanamino females that my friend gave me back then, and they were juveniles, if not like large juveniles. They were like that big at the time, and they're still going.
Oh,
They're I expect I'm always paranoid they're dead because I think they're about at their lifespan right now. But they're
yeah.
I love them, and I'm always. But I've also got a couple other ones. Actually, I had a Stegotyphus Dufori. She passed away literally last night, which was really sad. I paired her, and I thought she was gearing up to have babies, and maybe that's why she was like not eating. And I was trying to like give her water, and she was happily taking it, but was not the case. She passed away last night. And then I also have a Stegotyphus lineatus, however you say that. And those are they're both really pretty. They're not like the black Eurisidae or not Eurisidae, but the Gandanamino or Eurisa species. The lineatus is like gray and white and black. And then the Stegotyphus is this pretty like kind of yellowy white with like red lines that are really,
Ooh, that's pretty cool.
really cool looking.
Jeremy, you should look up some of these species. I think like the common name for them is like ladybird spiders or something along those lines. But they are really freaking cool, and they're like kind of like equivalent of like jumping spiders, but not jumping spiders.
Oh, let's see. Okay, these look cool. Hang on. Let me see if I can share my screen.
See if you can share the screen. Yeah.
And there's so many different species out now. It's amazing because it used to be like,
Yeah.
just a couple, and then, coming back 4 years later, and it's just like the amount of them I have access to. And I was like, oh,
Yeah. The I think the ones that I had was like the Eresus Walcaneri. That's how
yeah,
you pronounce it. I had a couple of those, and I had another species too, but I can't remember which one it was.
yeah. And I don't know about this species, but I'm assuming that one's probably a male because of
Yep.
the red.
Yeah, the males usually got the red. Yep.
Yeah,
And then the females, Jeremy, are usually like a little bit more muted colored.
yeah. Usually, if it's a Euresis or Gandanamino, they're black usually. Maybe like
look at
some
that.
yellow randomly on them.
So cool. Yeah.
Like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, go away.
I'm trying to look up the Stegodipus euphori. I don't know how I would tell you to spell that. Stegodipus.
No. Let him struggle. Let him struggle. I want to see him spell it.
Wait. Say it. I'm gonna sound it out.
Stegodipus euphori.
Aha. Hey, I was pretty freaking good. So shut up.
Pretty good. Hell yeah. Well, that's cool.
That is wild.
Interesting.
The one I had was like a bit more like yellow, but they have the cool like red lines or orangish. They're so cool looking. I love
Look
taking
at the mustache.
really cool like close up pictures of her.
Hell yeah.
That is cool.
Mm-hmm. So like you'd almost not realize that they're the same family as the black ones.
Mm-hmm.
If you didn't notice like the general everything else being the same.
Yeah. Yeah, right. If you didn't see everything else.
Yeah.
That's super interesting. Oh God.
Oh no.
Taxonomy. No, taxonomy.
Now it's time for our science lesson.
Right. I'm like, I just wanted to look at
now
cool
try
spiders.
and read all of that out loud and give us definitions.
Nah, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. But I do want to go on record and say that I was spelling that correctly. So
he was spelling it correctly. I'll give him that.
I can't see because it's so small, but I'll take y'all's word for it.
Oh,
that's what autocorrect is made for, basically.
Right.
Oh,
so
man.
I personally have been working with tarantulas the majority of my life, but I've never been bit by a tarantula so far, and I'm a pretty careful person. Have you ever been bit by a spider? I've been bit by 2 spiders, but not by tarantulas.
Never. No bites. Not a single bite. And I live in most of my life I've lived in really badly infested brown recluse houses. And when I say brown recluse, I'm not talking about like entomology. I'm talking about like an actual brown recluse.
Yeah, I have a I don't know if you can see it from there, a brown recluse tattoo on there because I get so many people who are like, I saw a brown recluse in my house, and I'm like, did it have stripes on top? It was not a brown recluse. You see the violin? Did it have the violin? No.
I want a tattoo of a brown recluse so bad. Me and one of my friends a while ago were joking about going and getting matching like best friend brown recluse tattoos. Like he's my best friend in the hobby.
Hell yeah.
And you still need to do that. And somebody, I saw a really cool one where somebody just got, I think it was the violin and like the eye arrangement, and that's all it was.
Oh, that's cool.
And that was the coolest brown recluse tattoo because it's vague enough, but also subtle enough is exactly the word, and it's just like he's like, if you know, you know.
Yeah, the girlies who get it, and those who don't, they don't.
I'm here for that. I feel like spiders have such small, intricate little patterns and giveaways and stuff like that. They would make really cool tattoo ideas for those little subtle, like, what's that mean? You don't know. Right. It's not for you.
I have troubles kind of with determining. I have a math learning disability, so sometimes I kind of struggle with patterns. So like I'll have people come to me like wanting advice on tarantulas or to help them, like, what is a spider? And it'll be like a post-lip area, and I'm just like, I have no idea. It looks like all the other ones. Ask somebody else. And I have a lot of them. I have a bunch. I don't trust my opinion because I don't know unless it's like purple or like purple. I think the only one, like my favorite ones are the purple ones. Oh, there's a blue one too, the Metallica. But then you got the Subfusca, Highland, Lowland, and then I think the Ornata is also purple. And it's just like, if it's not purple, they're all the exact same, or blue. They all look exactly this. They're all cool. They're awesome. They're beautiful. They're the same.
Yeah,
Some are bigger, some are smaller.
Striata,
yeah. Smith
Vitata, those all look the same. Yeah, Smith Eye, those all look very,
Tiger
very
was
similar to me. Okay, Tigrina Waselli, I can usually tell them. They're a little bit more like bandy.
That's when I can't spell.
Mine's a little,
I can't spell.
I can't even say it. Mine's a little sling, and so I don't have much reference because I just assume she looks like all the others when she's bigger.
Gotcha.
So
when it gets a little bit of size, you'll see they have like heavier bands on the front legs.
Okay, because I know if I looked up a picture, I'd just be like, that's just another pokey.
It's easier to tell when they're bigger, and they also have a little bit of purple on them too.
Okay.
I really like that species.
So that way I'll know it. If it's got purple on it, I'll know. I'll be able to tell.
Just a little bit. It's not as drastic as the Subfusca, but there is still purple on it.
Okay. I'll keep an eye out. It's going to be male, and I'm never going to know.
Oh no! Oh no!
It's like, it's just like all the others.
He lied to me.
Right.
There's a couple that are like really easy to identify. Like Rufilata have like a greenish kind of wash to them, and then the Metallicas with the blue and yellow, the Subfusca with like the purple and the lots and lots and lots of black. And the Tigrina Waselli, I think, with like the bands are all like kind of distinguishable. But then you get to like
Ornata is super purple.
Is it?
Yeah. I think it's my Ornata.
Hell yeah. But then like the Striata, the Smith Eye, the Regalis, all those ones look super fucking similar. It is so hard for me to tell any of those ones apart. I'm like, I don't know. They all look fucking the same to me, man.
And then I don't know how it is with oh, okay, so it is, I do know this because I'm making up words right now. Okay, so Metallica starts to get not blue as they get older.
The blue and the yellow.
Well, like their blue turns, like they start turning more of like a dark
black, yeah.
Yeah.
As they get older, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've got a Armenia, Salmothius Armenia that I got her. I made a post on Arachnoboards back in the day. And I was like, I don't like arboreal tarantulas. And someone's like, I'm going to change your mind. This is the last two from my Armenia egg sac, and sent me to like 2-eye Armenia. And immediately I'm like, they're lost running around my spider room, and I'm like, I've got a critter keeper trying to catch them.
No.
I've been in love ever since, but one of them like matured male, and the female, I got her, it was 2012 I got her. And so she's still going. She's at the very end of her life at this point. She's probably doesn't even have a year left. But she's gone like completely black, and she's so epic looking.
Cool.
Every time she molts, I'm just like, oh, you're just getting blacker, and it's so awesome because like her abdomen stripes have like completely gone.
Oh man, if you've got a picture, I really want to see that, because I've
got a whole video of me like right after she molted or a couple months ago. I got a video of me like going up and down her body while she's like up, and like I managed to get close enough to her and took a little sexy video of her. I'll send that to you.
Yes.
And she still has her little feet like red electric, whatever purple or orangey thing going on, but like she's otherwise just like gone black, and it's so cool.
That's freaking awesome.
That's wild.
That's so cool. I remember back in the day, like before it was kind of common knowledge that as the P Metallicas matured and got old, they lost that blue in it. They kind of turned black.
Mhm.
And there was some people who were like shady sellers, and they were selling old P Metallica females as black form, like as a different.
Oh.
Yeah. So they were selling these like old females who were getting towards the end of their lifespan as younger females that were a different color morph, and they were scamming people out of mad money.
Jeez, people are the worst.
Damn.
Yeah.
Especially in this hobby, like anything they can do to like make it like, you know, they'll have some species coming out and it'll be like another of the 50 billion Calibrachii species. And like it hasn't is the Phimosis now, but it came out as a Calibrachii species, Black Satan.
Yeah,
Oof.
exactly.
Oof.
Like people will buy that. They'll buy it. 100%. They'll buy it.
Guaranteed
And you know what?
sale.
They did.
They
People
did, yeah.
buy it.
Yes. And then they named it, and then it finally got looked at and was like, oh, this is Calibrachii's Fumosis. And it was like, oh,
Yep.
great. Or the
Aw.
Calibrachii species Electric Blue is now Calibrachii's Natural. Whatever.
Oh, I didn't know they changed it. I just knew them as Electric Blue,
Yeah.
and I was like,
I'm gonna
I like
take you
those. Those things are
over
pretty
here with
fucking
me so I can look at the label and tell you. Hold on.
That's the
It's-
thing, Jeremy. I don't know if you know this, but the tarantula hobby or like the tarantula taxonomy thing, every couple of years they just take like 8 genuses and they're like, hey, these don't exist anymore. There's something actually completely different.
Well, you know,
That's so-
Nandu chromatus isn't Nandu chromatus anymore, right?
No, I did not know that.
That one just recently secretly changed. Hold on. It's Vitalius chromatus. It's not even Nandu anymore. It's still chromatus, but it's not Nandu anymore.
I'm
So
mad.
the species electric blue is now Natin Icarum.
No, I don't like it.
Naticharum. That's the first time I've attempted to say it out loud, so forgive me. I don't say spider names out loud very often. It's always just online.
Yeah, it's easier to just type it out, and that way I can spell check it and be like, I said that right.
Spell check is like, what the hell are you saying?
Well, the thing about phones these days is like you spell it on your phone once, and like through generations of phones, it never forgets. And I'm
Yes,
just like,
Exactly.
it is always there.
I will never forget
you.
when Enchi ball python stopped being enchilada. I
Oh, no.
I was very
mean-
happy when that stopped happening. Although I was also upset when I went to order Mexican food.
That's great.
So taxonomy wise, why does anybody know why there's such consistent changes and shifts? Is it like just as they find new species, they're just like, oh, this actually aligns more with this, or is it literally just somebody's like crazed scientist, like I've just decided to ruin everything? And
Well, different people will look at them at like different times, and like, you know, like the Avic one really shook everything up. And then I think if I remember correctly, I think they like lost the original holotype or whatever.
Yep.
And like I don't even buy Avics because I'm like paranoid. I'm just gonna say I'm gonna do it all wrong because I'm just gonna say I never understood, so I'm avoiding Avics now other than Avic, which I guess they all are now.
Technically, yeah. They're like the majority of them are like now
But-
Avic.
But the other
That's
day
so
I bought a Grammostola rosea, but a normal. I don't know if that was. I think I heard briefly that now. I don't know, that was the Porteri, or I have no idea.
Oh no, yeah.
But like, okay, so like one of the ones that's really controversial to a lot of, especially the old heads, is Cereopagapus, like Haplopelma, you know, the cobalt blue. And a lot of people are still, it's been like, I don't know how many years ago that was now. It was a long time. It was way before the Brachy or the Avic thing changed. It was the Cereopagapus thing with the Haplopelma. And there's a lot of, like, the old heads still just, like, they still refuse. They're like, I'm not doing it. And I think there's
That
something,
is
but I think somebody's supposed to go and, like, re-look at it again, because apparently everyone says that the last, like, version of it was wrong, and so they're holding out, waiting for, and it's just like
For it to go back, yes. I hope it does. I'm just gonna.
This is where I like reptiles a little bit better. It's like once every 10 years, there's a new taxonomist that decides to lay waste to whatever the hell was going on. We bitch about it for another 10 years, and then it changes again. The tarantulas seem like this is a constant state of frustration that you guys end up being in.
I'll literally be actively in the hobby with that spider and be posting for like a year, and nobody will have told me that the name changed until one day some rando's like, "Did you know?" And I'm like, "Why didn't anyone tell me?" Usually, like, especially if it's something like the brackies or the avix, there's this huge post and everyone's reposting it. But then comes like the Nandu chromatus, it just slid on in there. Nobody noticed.
Randomly.
Yeah, it's just this is now Vitalis. What?
I hate
the other Nandus, the other like Tripepii or whatever, and all of those like color of a little lotus. They're all still Nandu, but chromatus got changed.
What? Oh.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. So Rob, that clip of the checking in podcast that I had tagged you in a few days ago, during that podcast we were talking about when Stimson's pythons got lumped in with children's pythons. And we had like a 20-minute discussion of taxonomy about 3 different Australian species of snakes, and we were having an existential crisis. I'd be losing my mind.
Yeah.
If I had to be like, this one's now over here, but all the other ones are still the same. And this, wow.
No, it's crazy. Like even in the tarantula hobby, they'll be like, this tarantula that looks identical to this other tarantula. There's no difference. Maybe like the shape on their butt's slightly different. And then it's just, and then it turns out like, oh, so the hobby version of this is this, but if you got it sold as this, and it's probably this one, but there's no way to really tell, but it's probably this. So good luck trying to breed it and not like mess everything up in the hobby.
Cross them and make hybrids. Yeah, good luck. That's basically what happened with the avix, Jeremy, the pink toe tarantulas.
Yeah.
So they had like the Metallica, which are like the giant ones with the bright silver bristly hairs all over them. And then there's like Broncherai or whatever, and then they had Avic, and all these different ones. And then a couple of years ago, they came out with a paper that was like, actually, those are all the same thing. And everyone's like, wait, what? What do you mean they're all the same thing?
It's number like, 1 and number 6.
Yeah, and then they gave them number types, so they're like they're Avic, but type 1, type 2 from different areas.
I was gonna say, so how does that get described? Is it like locality? Is it
technically? Like, I think that's what they are like.
That's how they broke it down, or whatever. That's so bizarre.
It's horrible. It's terrible. I hate it.
Not so bad. Like, cause I got a Brachypelma bomi, somebody I rescued from somebody years ago, and because they were about to like release it out in the park, and someone's like, "Come, please grab this tarantula." I'm like, "Yes, I'm grabbing it." And it's supposed to be a bomi, but turns out it looks more like the other one, the Bromrachety, and I'm convinced it's a hybrid, because every time I post a video of it, everyone tells me it's a different thing, and I'm like, I think it's just a hybrid. And like, even if I were to sell my collection, I couldn't ethically, like, especially how long they lived and the thousands of babies they have, I could not sell it or get rid of it unless it was like one of my really, really close, like seriously taken like hobby friends. I'm just gonna have to keep it for the rest of my life. Because once that gets out there, which, you know, that's already thousands of babies, has already gone out and polluted everything where she initially even came from. And so, but she's very obviously, like, you can't guarantee what she is or isn't. So I'm just like, it's not worth it for you to even try to breed her, you know, because it's just like,
crazy.
Yeah. And that many babies getting out, like people are like always like, oh, I'm going to hybridize. Everyone gets onto them. And then like, oh, but I'm not going to get rid of the babies. I'm like, okay, you're just going to keep them, or even just a few of them. But what happens if you die? What happens if you decide to leave the hobby, which I can tell you're probably already going to do, because it's rare people even stay in the hobby anyway for more than like a couple years. So what are you going to do then? Sell them as whatever species they look like most, and then go out in the hobby and pollute everything else? Like, are you kidding me?
Right. Yep.
And they don't think about that, and they don't care.
They don't think about it.
Mm-mm.
They don't care.
You're like,
It's
but it's like
horrible. I hate
dog
it.
breeds. No, it's not.
No, it's not. It's not even close. They just need to stop. But what are you going to tell those people? No, they know everything. So
Yeah, they're just gonna screw it up for everybody. And it's like, especially
Yeah.
like species where taxonomists haven't even made it to, and they're going extinct in the wild. And so it's like, if they all go extinct in the wild and all we have left is the muddied up ones in the hobby, say like maybe it's something that it's venom, particularly like cured cancer or something, or some disease, and we'll never know because like we have the muddied up version of it and it's deceased in the wild, and all we have is this whatever that is.
Yeah. I think that for a while, like especially like towards the end of the like 90s into the early 2000s, some of that stuff, people were just like, I don't know, we just got some there's a red leg spider, so we just paired them up and we bred them together, and it's like, oh no,
Yeah.
oh no, this
And
is
it's like,
so bad.
especially with all the borders closing and everything, like what we have in a lot of instances is what we have. And it's just, it's so important. And with deforestation and like, especially like the pokies and stuff too, it's so like, what it might come down to what we have at all is what we have in the hobby. And if scientists in the future want to look at it or have made a discovery with, some enzyme in their venom, like, it's, it's crazy.
Yeah, that just stresses me out.
Let's stop talking about it.
So, how do you feel about other kinds of invertebrates?
I like them. I love bugs in general. Like any insects or any other arachnids, or love them. I like going outside, taking pictures of stuff outside and trying to figure out like, what are you, and learning about them. And like, I grow garden and don't use pesticides or anything, so different plants attract different things. So every year I see something different, and just hiding among the leaves. And I have a ton of jumpers in my garden, which is fun. So I get to like, so many like different jumpers in my yard. And I don't even have a yard, it's just like concrete. And so everything's like container grown, but I have so many jumping spiders, so I won't complain about that.
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
Epic.
Have you kept like a bunch of other invertebrates? You do like centipedes, scorpions, beetles?
I kept one centipede and it died. Otherwise I'm kind of afraid of them. I did the death feigning beetles at one point, and those things lived forever and then died. And then I have this little spider beetles. They're like this big, and I've had a colony of them going on since like Tinley in 2018, and I found a little cup of them, and they just they just live forever, and they're cute, and they don't even have a lid on their enclosure. They just chill. And let's see, I don't know, I got a mantis. Every now and then I'll pick up one of those, and and then I've got a gecko as well. These aren't invertebrates, but I've also got a gecko, a crested gecko, and a gargoyle gecko.
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
I dig it.
The mantids are so cool, but they have such a short lifespan. It's such like a pain in the butt. It kind of sucks.
Yeah. People say that about true spiders too, though.
Yes. Yep, that's fair.
A lot of people in the hobby won't get into true spiders, but in my opinion, it's worth it anyway. It's fun just to see them grow and everything.
Yeah,
it's like,
I remember when I got my first like huntsmans, I was like, oh man, these are cool, and I had tarantulas, and I'm like raising tarantulas like alongside with them, and I'm like, damn, these guys molt like every other week. What the hell's going on here? Right. They just like grow and grow and grow, and they grow so fast, and they get to adulthood.
Have you ever caught one molting though? How they suspend themselves?
I haven't seen it now.
It's so cool.
At least not in person.
Yeah, it's so cool because they're just like suspended from the top, just like crawling out of their skin rather than like on the ground going like Instead they're
looking at the tarantulas like peasants.
That's pretty
interesting. That's cool. I would love to get some more of those. Those the Holconia species are so interesting to me.
Yeah, do it. Or like even like David Bowie or Lanula or something like that.
Ooh.
Victoria.
Heteropoda lanula, I Love that species. They are so freaking cool. Jeremy, it's like a purple huntsman or purple. I don't remember what the common name is. Purple leg huntsman or something. They're really pretty.
They look like Starry Night if Starry Night was a spider.
A spider. Yeah.
I got a huge
Look 'em up.
tattoo on my back.
Yes, that's so freaking cool.
Oh, interesting. I think this might be it. Hang on, I gotta share my screen here. Share.
Never.
He's not good at
Right.
sharing.
I'm not good. I'm not good. Yeah. Okay. Don't be mad. Don't be mad. All right. Why won't it let me share? Okay. All right. Share.
It's like you shared enough tonight.
Okay. Inception.
Oh. Oh no.
Is this it? Can you guys see that?
No.
No. Is it just the inception of sharing?
Yes.
Oh no. No. Why? Why? I'm so sorry. Why? No. Why? Why is this happening? Share entire screen.
No.
Never.
Okay, that's the inception.
Okay.
Okay, there we go. There we go.
All right. Okay, good. Is this it?
Yes.
That is it.
Okay. All
It's
right,
really
good.
small on my screen, but yes.
Yeah, look at that.
That thing is wild looking.
Yeah, they have like iridescence almost on the inner legs, like the legs that are close to the body, and then the bands on the outside are kind of a little bit lighter colored. So they're just like
I don't know what it is about them, but like I've raised a bunch of different huntsmen from like tiny spiderlings and to adulthood, been fine. I have never gotten a Lulu past like that size, and I can't tell you. I'll buy them in bulk. I'll buy them here and there. Over years, and I've never ever managed to grow one past like that size, and I don't know why.
I got them to like just about like a quarter size, and then they would just randomly die, and I'm like,
yeah. Every other huntsman totally fine. The David Bowie, the Venator, everything totally fine. Never Lanula. And I was like, I'm so determined. Every time they pop back up, I'm like, I'm getting one. I'm gonna
do it this time.
I'm gonna grow you.
I wonder if there's like some other requirement, like maybe they need it warmer than some other species or something.
A friend of mine had like successfully paired them and had an egg sac. He had a bunch and was telling me that they like, because huntsmen, I guess, masticate, they can chew their food, and so like the fruit flies. This was, I don't know, I'm assuming it's a theory, was that the fruit flies, because they're just water, and they're that size, the fruit fly is about all you can give them, and it's not enough sustenance. And so because they can masticate, you can put on some, like, I can't remember what it was, if it was like, I don't think it was calcium or anything, but it was some kind of like, something you put on a reptile diet type thing, like the powder, and then put your fruit flies in that, shake it up, and give them the fruit flies that way. And it was successful for them, but I think I left town and had friend washing and they didn't survive, so there went that experiment. But like that was their suggestion, and I have no idea if that worked or not. So I mean, it's better than what I had going for me. So
yeah. I would love to get some more true spiders. I've honestly, when I moved, I like sold and left like the majority of my spider collection because I was like, okay, I'm moving to a new place. I told them that I have 100 snakes. I can't tell them that I have 100 snakes and 100 spiders. Like, I don't think that they'll be cool with that. So I can say one or the other, and I can't get rid of my snakes. And so I was like, you know what? I'll start the spider collection again sometime. And I've gotten a couple little teas here and there, and I'm like enjoying watching them grow and rehousing them and blah 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 blah. And then I'm starting to think like, oh man, I used to have so many cool species. I want to get more.
Get more. This is your sign. Get more. See, okay, look at it this way: like true spiders, if it's not something like a Loxosceles reclusa or a Cucoclenia hibernalis or something like that, they're gonna live very short lives. So, I mean,
it's not a big dedication. Yeah, it's like
so like
the next 2 years.
It doesn't really count. It doesn't count. It's just playing
that's
COVID.
one of the
It's like count.
that I had.
Oh no.
Rob is at least he's frozen on a happy face. That's
Right. Oh my goodness.
Oh, poor Rob. He's gone.
Aw. Dang.
Oh man, poor Rob. This has been interesting though. I'm enjoying just kind of gathering some information because like I said,
Good.
I'm not a huge spider person or tarantula person, but I definitely find them interesting, and there's definitely some amazing looking
Yeah.
species out
I
there.
don't get to talk about them out loud enough. So, and when I do, it's
Yeah.
to like random people that asked me a question and I went too far. And
I
so
feel that. Yeah.
this is good for my soul, honestly. And I was really nervous. I was like, I'm gonna forget everything I know about spiders when I jump on this call. I'm not gonna remember a single thing. But
Oh
I
man.
think I'm doing okay.
Yes, you're doing great. You're doing great. Oh man. Yeah, I give you guys credit because I know that for the most part, like serious spider keepers, like everything's scientific names.
Mhm.
So that's another thing that leaves me out in the dust. Like I know my scientific names for the species I keep and have kept, and that's pretty much it. But never use them.
Oh, what's wonderful is like, having a bunch of having a group chat going of all these people from different parts of the world in the hobby, and you all are like, you end up one night, it always happens where you all end up like on the talking feature saying how you pronounce the Latin names, and everyone's saying it different, and we're all laughing at each other.
Yes. It's like, wait, that's how you say that? Oh man.
Or I'll get an expo or somebody starts talking spiders to me and they're saying something but completely different to the way I say it in my head, and I'm just sitting there like, it's so familiar, but I look like a dumbass because I cannot figure out what spider you're talking about because you're saying it just slightly different than how I'm imagining it in my head.
Yeah, I feel like that's all it would take is just like, welcome back, Rob. Hi.
Hello. How are you? Long time no see.
Bum, bum, bum.
Oh man. But yeah, I feel I can only imagine. I mean, hell, we've heard people absolutely butcher scientific names for reptile species. So once again, I'm patting myself on the back for sounding that one out that I had to search up earlier. Because ordinarily I'd be like, I don't know what's the first letter.
Hooked on phonics.
That's right. Latin version, scientific version. I was not prepared.
Clap out the syllables.
Yeah, right. I feel like after hearing stuff like Eurodactyloides and stuff like that, like at some point you start to figure out, like, okay, I think I get the idea. We don't use F's.
I can figure this out.
It's PHs. It's like this is the direction we're going.
Just over exaggerate everything.
Right.
Good.
Exactly.
Or like how I think Poecilotheria, I think the actual way to say it is like Poecilotheria.
No, I refuse.
That's like me and Brian Cusco with the whole leucistic saying for the snakes and stuff, and he lives by the leucism, and I'm like, no.
You just gotta own it either way.
Right.
Own it.
Jeremy, I have one that's going to devastate you.
Oh God, okay.
The Australian scrubs.
Oh, King Horn Eye.
So well, that's how we say it. But
yeah,
if you listen to how they say Bredley, it's actually pronounced King Horny. And I refuse to call it that. I refuse to call it that.
You should always call it that.
Yeah.
No.
That's what it should always be called. This is from now on, I declare. That's what you have to say. Let's just say that from now on.
Similia King Horny. No,
that's the correct name.
Yep. There you go.
You said it right. From now on.
It's okay. Now, if you ever say king horneye in front of me, though, I'll be like, I don't recognize that species.
Stop it.
I don't.
Oh no. Oh no. That stresses me out. I'm sweating. Oh my god.
Got me a good old king horny.
No. There are no king hornies in the US, okay?
They're all king hornies here.
Actually, Rob. The
Jeremy's like, "I've been
population
on
boom is
Grindr,
out
I've
of
seen
control,
them."
bro. Yeah.
Bruh. No.
This roller coaster only goes up, bro. Oh god.
Okay, so I wanted to ask you a couple more questions. I know we're a little bit over an hour, but I have a couple more questions I wanted to ask you. If there was any species that you were wanting to get into that you haven't worked with yet,
Like tarantulas and tree spiders wise?
or anything, yeah.
I mean, probably. I mean, I don't know. There's so like even this like the other day, it's my birthday, like in a week or two, and I don't really buy stuff very often, and I bought a bunch of stuff at the expo, and it was a bunch of like basic stuff like a gram stole polka peas and a rose hair and like one spider that I've never heard of. I'm like, I'm getting it, and then like I was like, I need some like more shiny stuff, and like went on and I bought a lot. And I'm excited about that shipment. And it's all stuff I've never had, or like some of it I'd never even heard of as well. It's like I said, it's like all these new shiny things I've never even heard of that I just like, so I don't know. There's a lot of just like, I just want them all. It's like Pokemon. Gotta get them all. Yeah. I mean, because I even had stuff like the what are they? The banana spiders. I can't think of the name right now.
I was going to say Viridaceus.
The one that no, not
Viridaceus.
I have had Viridaceus, Basietis. Those are fun.
Those are fun.
Like it's like the fastest spider you can own. But the
Jeremy, you don't understand. They have Beetlejuice legs.
They do. They're so cool. They're so awesome. What is it? The one that causes the like 4-hour erection and then you die.
Phenutria.
Yeah, Phenutria. Yep. I've had those. I've had I've had anything I can get my hands on. Like I love them all.
Hell yeah. Jeremy, you should not experiment with that spider. I'm just saying.
I don't want to.
It will kill you.
I don't want to, but also if that's the way it's gotta be, then that's the one I'm going with.
He's like, if I gotta go out, I'm going out in a blaze of glory, damn it.
Yeah.
Where's my King Horny?
Get over here, Mark.
Where's the King Horny, goddammit? Oh no. Oh,
we only got 4 hours. We only got 4 hours.
4 hours to save the world, baby. It hurts a bit, but we got this.
Die Hard, what the fuck?
Die Hard, literally.
No.
That's Christmas movie. Show you that Jingle Bell Rock.
No.
Love this. Love this.
Oh my god.
That's that's it. Noted. Duly noted. when I'm ready to go, I'm going out on my own terms.
Oh my god.
No. Recentering.
Hi. Everything's good. Breathe.
And okay, I wanted to ask you another serious spider question.
Yes.
As far as breeding spiders, is that something that you have a big interest in, or you just prefer keeping?
I'm mostly keeping. Occasionally I breed and I send out a lot of males. Because I'm cheap and I buy slings, and so I just let them mature male. But I have a lot of hobby friends and connections that Majority of the time, I have somebody to send the mail to. Currently, though, I'm doing a reverse loan of T. Celedonia, where I had a mature male, and I was offered on a reverse loan to female Celedonia, and I was like, I had to let them know, like, I'm not really a big breeder. I've done it, I've successfully bred and all this stuff, but it's not like my thing. And they're like, I trust you and your character. I'm like, you've done business with me one time a couple years ago, and it was a trade, but I appreciate that you trust me with 2 female Celedonia.
Oh my goodness.
Currently, one of them I successfully paired. Well, successfully, I mean, like, it happened. But one of them's currently on an egg sac. And and the other female, she's probably going to molt. And I caught her the other night redoing her whole trapdoor, and I took like some really cool videos of her, like they filmed her and sped them up of her doing her trapdoor over again, and like she's tearing off pieces and adding it. And then I found out the next day she's like it opened up like this, and now it opens up from the side. So I'm hoping that's a sign that she's either going to lay an egg sac or molt. And my male's still alive, so hopefully she molts soon so I can pair her again.
Hell yeah, that's fucking awesome.
And then I have like some friends that have had males of mine that were out in loans, and they've got egg sacs and or babies that I'm going to get half the sacks of. So that's cool too.
That's awesome. Jeremy, the Typhoclina celedonia is a arboreal trapdoor spider, but it's like a heavily colored pattern jeweled, and they don't get big. They're like really
blue,
small,
green, pink. Like so pretty.
Yes.
And they're like literally
Jeremy,
that
you should
big.
try typing that one out. You should try Googling that one.
All right, hang on.
Typhoclania celedonia. Okay. Typho.
No, right. Keep going. Typho what?
Clania. Clania.
Okay.
Celedonia.
Celedonia.
I'm butchering that one.
It'll probably pop up because it's so.
Okay. Yeah. It did come up, and I was okay. I wasn't too far off. Hang on, I'll share my screen so you can see the "did you mean." Hang on, I'm pretty proud of that one.
They're like a hyper popular spider, and there's like so much internet hype around that species.
A couple of years ago, they were like $600 for a sling.
Yeah,
maybe
for
a little
like
more than
second instar sling.
Yeah, I think they're at around a little less than 200 now for a sling.
That's crazy. Okay, let me see here. Okay, so it popped up. Good. So here's what I typed in.
I can't see it. Oh, hey, that was pretty close. Oh, Celedonia C.
I went with the C. I didn't know.
The part you were gonna get right.
I should have known it was the AE.
Typhoclina. See, I was saying it wrong anyway. Typhoclina. See, I don't say my words out loud, so in my head it was Typhoclania, but it's Typhoclina. Type. I don't know. I have no idea.
It's okay. Hey, I'm still patting myself on the back. So that's
I added an extra syllable.
Eat it, Rob.
Did we lose him?
We lost Rob. Ha
He couldn't stand how badly it was butchered.
Right.
He left us. How did you get Celedonia wrong?
Right. Oh man, I'm pretty cool with that. I'll give myself an 85% on that one.
No, especially I told you wrong anyway, so good, solid.
Oh man,
you get a pass. Oh hi,
I did okay.
Have a nice nap.
I did. It was a power nap though. It was like one of those really quick naps. It was good. It was worth it.
That's funny. That is funny. But yeah, I did okay. I did okay on that one.
You did. That's my fault. I told you wrong anyway. So
I would have pronounced it wrong too. I always was like T. Celedonia. It's a T. Celedonia.
Yeah, it's T. Celedonia.
Oh man. I dig it.
But
That is
that is
that
a
actually
very
is a
hyped-
very pretty. It's a very pretty spider.
No,
Yes.
they're really cool. And they're pretty recently discovered. Like they're pretty new. It's because they're so tiny and they make trapdoors and bark. And so they never
yeah.
saw them.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense. That's
Yeah, little sneaky snakes.
yeah. You had the job to hide, and you did so successfully. So
Mhm.
good job.
very, very
Right.
successfully.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, we have run over our time, but we do have one question that we ask all of our guests before we wrap up, and I'm going to modify it a little bit so that it fits the theme a little bit better for tonight. But
Okay.
our question that we wrap every show up with is, what in the realm of arachnids, whether it be something that you're working with in your own collection or something that you've seen on the ethers of the interwebs, what is something in the arachnid hobby that has got you excited about arachnids right now?
Mine's simple because it's just all the new stuff that I'm rediscovering and
Hell yeah.
like all the stuff that I just like after being MIA for 4 years, come back, I'm like, oh, I've never heard of half of these. So there's just lots of new stuff that I'm kind of playing around with and discovering right now. So that's a lot of fun.
Hell yeah. That's freaking awesome. And there's always something changing in the arachnid hobby, so there's always something new to check out.
Absolutely. 100%.
Hell yeah. Well, if people want to see the things that you're doing and kind of follow you on social media, where should they look you up?
Pretty much on Instagram at Andrea.Arachnid. Unfortunately, Facebook told me I was an imposter and took down my Facebook page.
What?
And I have not been able to get it back. I've been fighting and I'm about to give up. But so for now,
Oh, damn.
yeah, or you can I've been posting my spiders actually on my personal page because I've just been like, F this. Screw you, Facebook. So Andrea K. Van Vagel is my name on Facebook, and you can follow me there. I've been posting my videos publicly, or Instagram, Andrea.Arachnid. Also, I started TikTok, so Andrea.Arachnid, and then I started doing the shorts on YouTube. Andrea's Arachnid, probably. I don't remember. I just like, I took away my Facebook, so now I'm just posting everywhere.
Yeah, fuck them.
You won't silence my spiders.
Never. I will unleash an arachnid army. Well, thank you so much for coming on tonight.
Yeah,
this was a
thank
lot
you
of
so
fun.
much.
We'd love to have you on again in the future. We can talk
Yes.
more spiders and all sorts of fun stuff.
Yes, this was awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
You are very welcome. And for everybody who's listening, make sure that you like this video or this podcast. Leave us a review. We appreciate you guys checking it out, and we'll see you again next time.
See ya.